Shalom Yashrallah, this your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone that taught us this truth and ever will. And salutation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here lesson real quick. It's going to be a real short one, but I came across these two articles and I couldn't help but just sit here and just be like, damn, Esau, man. All right, the earth needs new to where we at right now. It's clear and it's evident that the earth needs new rulership, or like the scriptures say, Lord's will get it. If time wouldn't be shortened, roughly paraphrasing, if time wouldn't be shortened, there would be no flesh saved, man. All right, but hey, this is what we have going on right about now, man, because of who we have that's in control of the earth, like the scriptures speak about, roughly paraphrasing, because they transgressed the laws, man. Changed up every damn thing. All right. So this one here says, Godfather of AI sounds the alarm. Salak. Godfather of AI sounds warning as he quits Google. Godfrey Hinton says bad actors could harness artificial intelligence for bad things. And this ain't nothing new. The old, we call them memes nowadays, but the old, you can still call it a meme, but the old memes that you would see in cartoons and things like that about letting, opening Pandora's box. Well, once you open Pandora's box, you can't close that motherfucker, man. You can't put the genie back in the bottle once you get the genie out of the bottle. All that, quote unquote metaphors to say, look, be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. And once you get it, there's no reversing that. Right. And so this is where we are right about now. All right. So it says Godfather sounds warning as he quits Google. It says turning award-winning scientist Godfrey Hinton is credited with being a foundational figure in the advent of AI. But amid a de facto arms race in Silicon Valley as Google and Microsoft work together, Silicon Valley as Google and Microsoft work against one another to perfect the technology, he has warned of the risk that his life's work may present to humanity. And it's funny because I can't play the video of this, but I want to say it's the second one. Maybe it's the second one. Maybe it's the first one. But one of the Terminator movies, right? You have this Jake that's at the very end. I believe it's at the end. It's been so long since I've seen this. But anyway, in the movie, and I heard that they brought him back in a different movie, because they traveled through time and everything. But he was the creator of all of this here stuff, man. All right. But the thing, this is like how this is another so-called running theme or meme that you see in a lot of these things where people will be working towards stuff. And in reality, there's a lot of Edomites that do this, but this is why we call you the damn devil, man. All right. Now, you'll see, things happen. Right. And, a lot of the times, we'll look at these people as just regular people, like from a quote unquote Christian standpoint, not from, being Israelites and that mindset and everything, but just so-called being Christians, right? And here in America, most people say, oh, I'm a good Christian. I go to church. I do my little missionary stuff and so on and so forth. Now these people aren't quote unquote like violent or overtly evil or wicked, right? But, when you go deeper into the things they're doing, like, yeah, this is actually wickedness, man. So just like, in that movie, Terminator, one of the Terminators, either the first one or the second one or something like that, where you had the Jake that was in there, he was like saying, well, his life's work. And he was like the same guy that we reading about in this here article. And his work was, I'm just doing this to help out people and advance science and look at all the progress we could make. We could save so many lives and everything else. Like, it starts out as being that, something that's so-called, I don't know what's the word, beneficent or maleficent, so-called, it sounds good. Right? Oh, we're doing this to so-called help people and everything else like that. But then at the end all be all, it comes to become something wicked. Now, I believe it was Robert Oppenheimer who said this, that, he had a little saying and things, like you go, watch the video on it. But basically he was saying when they was working on a nuclear bomb, they pretty much had, created it at that point in time. He was like, some people laughed, some people cried, some people were silent. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I've become a death and a destroyer of worlds. But when they say that some people, were happy, some people were sad, some people cried and everything else like that, to the understanding that they had realized, like he said, I've become the destroyer of worlds. Like, we thought that we was doing something to help out, to win the war, to do this and that. But now we realize once we created this here monster, other people are going to create this. This is going to make the world's problems that much more worse and that much more violent and everything else like that, man. All right. So, hey, it's just like, with all of these things, man, you see the same thing happen to a lot of these people that are in these types of fields, like the people that start out with, what was that? Was it don't quote me on this. There's a documentary you can watch. It's called A Social Network, and there's quite a few of these documentaries that you can watch that's pretty much along the same lines. But the one thing they all have in common is the original founders of a lot of these businesses that you know about, like social media businesses and stuff like that. These people all walked away from something super big, and they realized what they was doing. Like, you know what, I'm not down with this and what's going on and everything else like that. For instance, Dr. Dre. Right, for Jake that be understanding certain things like that. Hey, Dr. Dre walked away from Death Row and all the rights and the money and everything else like that because he saw what was going on over there. Like, I don't want to be a part of this, man. I'm just here to make music. Y'all doing some way other shit. Then somebody wound up getting killed, people going to jail and everything else like that, so on and so forth. Hey, Dr. Dre's still out and about and around. And who else from that little posse is out and about doing whatever besides Snoop, right? But that's the idea. It's like, hey, man, let me just go ahead and just get up out of here before these things go, left real bad. Yeah, I'm a part of the original, the foundation of these things. But at a certain point in time, they come to the realization of what they've really been doing. So you have the same thing that's going on here with these social media founders, the actual founders, not the people that you see nowadays is like the faces and like Zuckerberg. And Zuckerberg was like a third wheel into a part. You had the twins or whatever, and then you had some other folks. But like I said, watch The Social Dilemma. Right, I think you can find it on Netflix or something like that. But there's a couple of these little, and they got newer ones now, like with the different social media sites, like with Tinder and all that, like the updated stuff for like Tinder and stuff. Like I think The Social Dilemma is older, where it's basically off of like when they had Facebook and MySpace and shit like that. But listen to these people and they'll tell you, no, none of our kids are on social media. We don't have this inside of our house. We don't do none of this here stuff. Now we realize what it is. Like Jeff Bezos. You think Bezos got that Alexa going on in his house and everything else like that, man? All right, you see these like your boy, I forgot what the hell this nigga name was. Steve Jobs. He refused to really use any of that Apple technology he was the one was creating. You see what I'm saying? So hey, man, these people ain't really for all these things, man. All right. So hey, let's get into this here article. There's two different articles, but this is how we know we got to go, man. We need new management on the earth, man. All right. It says Hinton resigned from Google. Like I was saying about this guy, like I said, go and look up in Terminator, either Terminator 1 or Terminator 2 or something like that. But you got this Jake that's in there, a so-called black man. And he's working at I forgot the name of the place now. This has been so long since I've seen this movie. But he was there creating basically artificial intelligence. They was creating robots and stuff like that and all these different things. Oh, look at the scientific stuff that we can help out and we can create and everything else like that. And we can have robots to help us do all these things. But then you look at like, all right, yeah, it might be able to help us out. But then let's just fuck all that because most people can't get that into their head, right? But let's look at what we got already, right? We got social media and we got smartphones, right? People always talk about with social media. I always ask, what the fuck you need, Facebook and all that stuff for, right? And I don't even ask them no more about the newer stuff. But back in the olden days, to ask people, what the fuck I need a Facebook for? Oh, I'm not into it like that. I just do it so I can keep in touch with my relatives. No, good and damn well, they ain't using that shit to stay in touch with their relatives. But what has social media done? Even if you're not on social media, right? Because I haven't used social media since fucking MySpace was out. But I'm still affected by it, even though I don't use it. But what has been the effect on the earth, or at least America, since we had social media, in a sense? Back in the olden days, people used to call on the telephone. Like, I'm from a generation back in the olden days where, you growing up, you caking with your girlfriend on the phone. Y'all stay up all night till y'all fall asleep on the phone and shit like that. Nowadays, people don't even call each other on the phone no more, man. All right, they'll just send you a little text message. You know what I'm saying? And really with that, look with the invent of emojis and stuff like that, or memes and stuff, or pictures. They'll just send you a picture about some shit. They don't even like, nah, that text was too long. It's more than 3 lines. I can't read all that. Y'all done sent me a paragraph. 3 lines is a paragraph. Hey, how's it going? What time you showing up to work? Oh, that was too much. You should have should have sent me an emoji of a time clock and a question mark, and I would have got it. You see what I'm saying? So people are becoming dumber off of those things, man. How many phone numbers can you remember off the top of your head, right? How many different addresses can you remember? How many different places can you remember how to get to, and birth dates and things like that is programmed inside of your phone. All right. How many people actually naturally just wake up in the morning at the right time without having a cell phone going off and everything else like that, man? All right. And another thing with TikTok and I think it's TikTok had them short little videos and stuff like that, man. But see, with these things, this is why you have people that'll read headlines and stuff, and that's the whole news. They won't read inside the news. It's like, so and so, this guy slapped, Tom slapped Wendy. Oh, Tom is a woman beater. Tom is this and that. And then they didn't read the actual article. Yeah, Tom slapped Wendy with a free coupon to go shopping wherever she wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't already paint this dude as a woman beater type thing because they didn't read the whole thing. Most people don't have a long attention span. Look at what they be watching on videos and stuff. Oh, that's too long of a video to watch. Like, 10 minutes is too long for you to watch the video, and that was back in the olden days, man. Nowadays, people like, bro, don't send me no video that's longer than like a minute, 2 minutes. That shit, 4-minute video, bro, I can't watch that video, bro. That shit too long. But this is what these things are doing. So are we actually getting smarter? Are we getting more connected to one another? You know, when was the last time you called and you talked to your grandmother on the phone for, you know, an extended period of time? These are the excuses. Hey, we doing better. But what has it really done to you? The depression rates have skyrocketed because of all the likes and the what do they call it? The validation and things like that. You know, seeing people lives on the internet, all these filters and fake lives. People don't even know, oh, you don't really look like that. Oh, I need to be seeing that behind my filters. I don't really want to go out because I don't really look like this and everything else like that, man. They had that one, there's a video trending now with this one, but it's how you want to say this? This is a, one of those big body transmissions, right? You know, this motherfucker is a heavy duty transmission. Now, anyway, this dude is tripping, right? Talking about some, I'm leaving the club early because I'm literally a 10, and all the dudes, they don't get it. They don't see my inner beauty and stuff. They tell me something, they're 10. But see, this is leading to this type of delusion, right? Where people are starting to just believe in any of these things. So it's destroying the minds of these people, man, destroying relationships with people, destroying, what reality is. People think that everybody make $100,000, this and that. Like, y'all don't really realize the real value of money and everything else like that, man. Y'all just think that everybody live, and everybody y'all looking at with all this so-called flashy, fancy stuff, it's all fake anyway, man. They jewelry fake. Those bags and clothes they got is fake. Them a hotel room. They had photo shoots. Those cars is rented. All that shit that you looking at, it's all fake, man. All right. I haven't even seen a woman who had a fake ass wedding, hired some dude in a fake photo shoot to have a fake wedding just to basically make another dude jealous. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this? But look at where we at right about now, man. So just imagine with this here AI. We ain't even talking about like they would say, the robots and everything else like that. But wait till you have like so-called AI that's over here telling you about certain things. And, like for instance, there was that Kendrick Lamar video. I can't think of the name of the song or whatever, but there's a video in there where he's rapping from different people's perspectives. And then all of a sudden his face changes into these people, whether it be Nipsey Hussle. I think Kobe Bryant's in there, Will Smith's in there. This was after the slap because that's, he was in there and everything else like that. But anyway, but you start to see these deep fakes and stuff like that. There's also a video where Jay Farrell, a comedian who does impersonations, where he's doing these impersonations on YouTube, sitting on a couch at somebody's TV show or whatever. But somebody did a deep fake to where everybody he's impersonating, he start looking like that person. So now, going into the future, what happens when you see on TV, right? Now, we already know what this war is like with Ukraine and Russia, right? Now, if you in the truth, you understand what's really going on. But to the masses of these people out here, they believe that Ukraine is winning this goddamn war. They believe that Russia is like fucking Stone Age Flintstones and shit like that. Like they ain't got nukes or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they not, bruh. Like, this shit is laughed. Like the evidence is out. Fuck the propaganda. But like, well, if Ukraine is winning, why the fuck we got to keep resupplying their ass, man? And who the fuck is resupplying Russia? Russia ain't been resupplied yet. And if you believe that they've been resupplied by China or Iran or any of these other motherfuckers, how come America ain't did nothing about it, man? Now, they over here slapping sanctions and everything else on motherfuckers who's trading with Russia like that if they, you know what I'm saying? But you think that they about to allow somebody to get them some weapons to try to fight up against them? Man, they on some bullshit. So, but the propaganda is into, Ukraine is winning, Russia is a weak ass country. They all lies about all this. They ain't really got nukes. They ain't really got. But people believe that already. But the evidence is out there. Like, well, if that was the case, how come this war ain't over with already, man? How come America and all their allies in Ukraine ain't just walked over Russia like that? You know what I'm saying? When they all out of dated shit. How come Russia over there tearing up all their shit? So they believe this already. But now think about this. Think about when you watching on TV. You watching some kind of address, CNN comes in, boom, 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 boom. Just in, Vladimir Putin is making an announcement. Now you see Vladimir Putin up on the stage. Yeah, in about 15 minutes, we're gonna start this here war off, right? 5 minutes, or in my word, we're gonna start launching nukes on America right now. We can push the button, fuck it. And they got him saying it, right? They might even have him saying it, calling your name out. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck this nigga didn't even know? Yeah, you right there too, right? They have these things at some of the theme parks where it'd be like the little transformer robots where a lot of the times, sometimes they have different robots where it's like, it's not a person in a suit because you can tell by how the suit is built. But there's somebody like, how the fuck does this here? The kids be like, how does this work? It ain't nobody in the suit. Like the big things that they walk around in, the big costumes they walk around. This ain't nobody in there. How do they? You think that it's just a program robot walking around, but then all of a sudden, like, no, you over there with the man purse. No, you with the bun. You with the this and that and so on and so forth. Yeah, you over there just doing such and such. You're like, how the fuck does this nigga really know? But they over there watching you the whole time, right? So now just imagine that, like I said, you watching this on TV, Vladimir Putin talking about some, hey, this is what's going on. Well, hell, the one thing we don't want to talk about, because these Americans, they believe everything. They believe that the elections, well, whatever. We're not going to talk about the elections. But what happens when you start to think about, is your president actually a real person? Or people that you see on TV, is that really what's going on with all these things, man? All right, because you're just watching like how we watch on TV, movies, and all this kind of shit that be going on TV. How many times have we just seen in movies Denzel Washington get shot and killed, or whoever the little superhero is get shot and killed? This person's still alive. How many times have we seen them get blown up? You know what I'm saying? But they still alive. So what happens when we start to watch this, in real time with this artificial intelligence, man? Having people believe all these. I mean, people literally believe the shit that they be listening to on mainstream media news about all of this and all of that. Like things that you can just literally go outside and look at and be like, nah, nigga, that y'all lying about that, because I'm outside. I see this shit, man. We're not gonna kind of go too far into it, but back a couple years ago when he was talking about something like, you had hospitals that was overflowing and there was like just bodies all over the place and everything else like that. I remember watching on my local news about my local hospital around here and how they had people all the way to fuck around the building. And it was just a lot of people and everything else like that, right? And I drive down there, I'm like, motherfucker, ain't nobody even at the hospital. The normal cars that would normally be there ain't even there. Like, what the hell y'all got going on? Like, you got barricades up, but there's nobody out here, right? So, but just imagine, like I said, and if you wasn't really going, because they had everybody stay at home, stay at home, it's safer at home. So you're not really going out there to go see what's going on. I'm like, but I was still at work, so I had to still, travel by. I'm like, motherfucker, look, it ain't nobody out here. There's more people in line at the grocery store than there is at the hospital. What the hell are you talking about? So when we get into these times of great deception, man, all right, so we're not gonna read this here article because we didn't went over all of this here anyway. But I think it was yeah, they don't really go too far into some of the implications, but hey, we know about what it is already. This is another article right here. This is the other one. 3D printed fish set to hit the market. This is crazy. All right, around a third of the global fish stocks are currently overexploited, analysts say. It says if a trip to the lake with your fishing pole just isn't an option, an Israeli company has created a method of 3D bioprinting your very own fresh fish, which it says will be ready for cooking immediately. Right? Now, check this here out. You should probably look into these people here, Might want to check out this here company or whatever, because, I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but they just see article telling you that these niggas is finna start booming with something. So this here is the company that's about to be doing this here shit. So they look like they might be ready for an increase in valuation. Just saying. Anyway, Stakeholder Foods have developed a 3D printed grouper fish fillet from stem cells, which are then processed via bioprinting technology into a fish-like shape. This is crazy. Now, they talk about let me keep reading. It says, this product, which was created in conjunction with Umami Meats, mimics the taste and texture of natural fish, and it could be on the supermarket shelves later this year. In the coming months, we intend to announce our plans for bringing this world-class cultivated fish to the market. All right. Let me just read this. It says, in the first testing, we showcased a cultivating product that flakes, tastes, and melts in your mouth exactly like excellent fish should, he explained. Now, again, looking at this scenario, we got an fished, basically the fish is being overfished, right? Well, we should slow down on it. You know what I'm saying? Because like think about it. Like here in America, for one, you have like how do I say? We're so privileged here to just have so much abundance of everything, right? Now, when you think about back in the olden days, right, you wouldn't have oranges year round, right? You wouldn't be drinking orange juice year round. You like the fruit juices and stuff, like you have different seasons for different shit. You wouldn't have this, like now you have the same shit year round. And if you know anything about fruit or vegetables and shit like that, or if you got a garden, that shit only produced like, for the most part, once a year, right? You know what I'm saying? At a certain point in time. So how the hell you got it year round? I mean, I know how, because I used to work in the business and everything else like that, but it got to go through a lot of genetically modifying the genes of that shit. All right. And then they got to put a lot of different other things, whether it be gases like, what was it, nitrogen or something they used to put on the shit. You know what I'm saying? To help preserve it. All right. You know, I've worked in quite a few different you know, where shit will come from the farms and everything else like that. And I would see certain things like, how the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, a tomato packing house I worked at one point in time, man. All right, not really dealing with. I worked year round because I wasn't dealing with, you know, tomatoes or nothing like that. But I would sit there, you know, with my job, I was over there doing some other shit. But anyway, like doing some repairs on some shit, right? So I would be there. My job didn't have anything to do with the tomatoes, but I would sit there and watch. Okay, it's season time for them to go out there and start picking the tomatoes. Even around where I live at now, seeing like the trucks on the road. Like there's a certain point in time where you're gonna start seeing them trucks hauling the tomatoes, right, for a couple weeks. And there's a couple weeks where you see the guys that the Issacharites that be on the buses and everything, cashing their checks around the corner and everything else like that. There's a couple weeks where you start seeing these goddamn Tropicana trucks with the oranges and shit. You be seeing oranges all on the side of the road and everything. That only happens once a year though. So how the hell you got this shit year round, right? But going into like I said, the way to, one of the ways to fix that is just to have certain things at certain points of time of the year. Oh, this ain't this type of season for this to be having this and that, blah 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 blah. The other thing is like, you know what, you can like and again, you know, just watching what we waste, because we throw away so much of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is a delicacy and we got so much, we want to stock up on this and want to throwing away some stuff. You know, if you know anything about business and what do you call it, like just inventory, right? Especially if you have inventory that can wind up dying off, you have to, one of the most important things is for loss. All right, how long does it have on the shelf life? How fast is it really moving? Like, yeah, I got enough money to buy up 100 items of this here stuff, but we only sell, you know, from time to time before they expire, we only sell about 10 of them. So that means 90 of them is going to be going in the trash if I don't do this right. Right. So, but we have things that's like that where we just wind up throwing away so much of food and waste and everything else like that. I'm like, bro, you can sit there and look at certain fish. Like, all right, well, you know, there's a shortage of fish. Like, well, yeah, they didn't caught some fish. That fish was just basically going to rot and get thrown away as trash anyway because they didn't over shelved it and everything else like that. But also, if you know if about any of this stuff, this is something I looked into a long ass time ago. Fish farming, right? Fish is very profitable when you come to farming fish, right? Now, a lot of them. So to give you an example, like couple different things. Now, this was for like fishing bait. I thought about this a long time ago, right? You know, but thinking about this, shrimp, right? Shrimp have like a shitload of babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I think it was up to like 700 something babies or something like that. And I think tilapia have about like 300 babies, and they can have, you know, you can have multiple mating times with these things over and over. So let's just say 300. Let's go with the tilapia, right? Because again, you know, where you can have one to feed the other one, or, you know, for like bait, you know, bait shop and stuff like that. But when you go into these businesses, it's very profitable. You'll go and you look at the bait stores and like crickets and all this shit, they reproduce a lot very quick. But and so saying all that to say this, you know, and there's ethical ways of fish farming. You can fish farm in like you know, actual little crates and stuff that you build, but you can go get you a fucking lake and just stock your own lake full of this shit and just pull it out a certain type of way, right? Because there's so much fish that come up out of there and everything else like that. But let Esau say it, he want to, you know, control every damn thing. But this is what Esau's plan is to do, is to 3D print fish. Who the hell you think he finna get us to? And if they got the way to 3D print fish, what else do you think they're out here doing, man? All right. So let's go into some scriptures here real quick. I didn't want to make this too long, but some of this stuff, you know, you got to kind of explain, oh, what's wrong with 3D printed fish? It wouldn't be nothing wrong, not to say, first of all, we don't need no goddamn 3D printed fish. What's wrong with, you know, taking what you need instead of just overtaking every damn thing, man? All right. Ecclesiastes 10:1, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered, right? And so, hey, a wise judge is going to tell them the certain types of way. Hey, look, food is getting a little scarce, not scarce, but like, you know, you overfishing certain stuff, or just over hunting certain animals and everything else like that, or just over killing certain things just for stuff to just be sitting up here just to go to waste and everything else like that, man. All right. Just think about, like, you know, you have, I don't know, whoever sells wings, like think about how many wings, Hooters and stuff. Well, they probably go through so much wings. They probably don't have that's all that they probably sell, but you know, you have places just throwing away wings and wings and wings and wings. Like, bruh, so like out of 100,000 chickens, let's just say 10,000 of them damn chickens, or 1,000 of them chickens, they might have raised them all up just for them to not to be sold or just to go to waste, right? But hey, instead of telling people, you know, as the judge of the people, you know, hey, we got to be a little bit more conservative on what we just throwing away and everything, or find better ways to you know, use this food, right? Or let's not overconsume. All right, don't go to the grocery store and pile up on a bunch of shit that's gonna go bad within a couple of days, I had to think about that sometimes, like, oh, I'm gonna make this here meal. Let me grab me some vegetables and everything else like that for this, and that. And then, I don't plan on making this meal for like 2 or 3 weeks. Bought enough groceries for a couple weeks or whatever, or a week or two. And then now all of a sudden I done bought some vegetables. Like, oh, I wasn't gonna make that for 2 weeks. Now the fucking vegetables is all bad, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, you should have just waited to buy the vegetables and then you'd be good to go, right? But nevertheless, hey, there's no. What do they tell you here in America, man? Be greedy, hoard up all these different things, have things that you're not even gonna use anyway, man. All right. The consumption that America sucks up is just is crazy. All right, and it's crazy that we got so much stuff. We literally throw out, like, think about it. We literally throw stuff out, man. All right, I don't want this change. Get rid of that change. Here go $1 here, $1. Man, that shit all adds up, man. All right. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. In what manner the man, the ruler of the city is, so are they that dwell therein. And see, the rulers of this people, they don't really give a damn about any of this stuff. They have unlimited spending, gross spending. We'll just use that word. They have gross spending. Military budget of billions of dollars. And, well, what the fuck did y'all spend this amount of money on? Oh, a bunch of just chairs or whatever. Like, and then you didn't even get a good quality product of all these things, man. But y'all just spending money. All right. But how do you think that the American people gonna be? Oh, we'll just buy it if I don't. Think about how many you Americans have shit inside your house right now with the tag still on it. Clothes you didn't bought that still got the tags on there. Just shit that you didn't bought that's still in the packages you never even opened up, man. All right. The majority of Americans at least got one item in their house that they didn't purchase and they ain't never opened it up, never used it a day in their life. But they got it though. You see what I'm saying? But hey, this is how these people are. They're just like the rulers of this here place. Now, if they was all conservative and scarce about, look, we watching every penny, every dime, every dollar, the rest of the people would be the same way, man. All right. We wouldn't have this issue of all these different things, right? But then also going into this artificial technology and everything else like that. We also live in a culture where we put everything off to everybody else. I'll just let them worry about it. Let them do this. Let them do all that. So now, hey, we'll just let the AI figure all this here stuff out. We so privileged. We'll just let somebody else worry about all that. It ain't for me to worry about. That's how you get into the guys now where the government is in control of every damn thing, man. All right. Why? Because people's like, you know what? Look, we don't talk about religion and we don't talk about politics. When we don't talk about that, you allow these people to take control and make all the decisions for you. I don't want to sit there and watch. I don't want to go down to the town hall meeting and talk about this and the school board meetings and the HOA meetings. But then you don't want mad as fuck about what they teaching your kids in school, but you don't want to go down to the HOA meetings because, hey, that's for them to figure it out. You don't want to talk about the HOA, go to the HOA meetings, but then you want to complain about the shit going on in your neighborhood. Same thing that's going on here, but hey, there's nothing new. They're not going to argue about this here technology that's coming out and all the social media and how the depression and all these things is going up. They just fucking let some out of sight, out of mind. And this is where we are right about now, man. All these things is coming down the pipeline because, hey, they're just, how do I say, in gross darkness, like the scriptures speak about, man. All right. Verse 3, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. So an unwise king destroyeth his people. And how are you doing that? Again, hand in hand with both of these articles, this technology. At what point in time, like I said, none of these people that are the founders of any of this technology, right, and none of these upper elites, they don't use this shit and they don't allow their kids to use this shit, man. Now, Joe Biden and all them, they may have a Twitter account and everything else like that, but best believe, like celebrities, somebody else is running that account. But Joe Biden ain't sitting at home doing his little tweets here and there. Now, Trump might be tweeting and shit for real, but that's for like a business, right? Certain people who have social media sites for business, it's completely different. That's just marketing and advertisement, man. All right, but for the regular people that's out here doing all this here stuff, man. All right, you have all these like I said, these not founders, but these social media sites, the people in the social media that run the social media sites, the governments and everything else. Like I said, they don't have them or their children on these social media sites using them, but yet. Look at what you over here doing, right? But the unwise kings, they're allowing these things to go on because, wow, they can control and manipulate the people with these things. And then, hey, look at with the food. You think that they finna be eating some 3D printed food and everything else like that, but what is the systems that we're looking at? Oh, they trying to chop up crickets and give you 3D printed food. They just had a couple years of brainwashing you with that Impossible this and then whatever the other brand was called. But, they got people already eating all this stuff like this, man. All right. But then, and you'll never ask the questions, well, out of sight, out of mind. The government knows what's best for us. So whatever they say has got to be true. Why we got to go and fact check it? I ain't finna be sitting here reading all this, all into these details and seeing what's really going on. If I can't understand it in 30 seconds or less, it ain't for me. I'd rather go learn the TikTok dance. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, look at where we at. Let me jump down to verse 8. It says, well, let me read verse 4. It says, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. All right. And now that can kind of go with verse 8. But because of the unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. I probably could have read those a little backwards, but hey, unrighteous dealings, man. And going into, we'll grab it next, but let's just go ahead and grab it now. Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24:4 says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languish and fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. Now, again, look, you didn't went over here and overfished. Not just overfished, you just was willy-nilly with it, just throwing shit away, man. How much of this is waste and everything else like that. Like when you go around big businesses and big companies and stuff like that, and you realize how much shit that they waste. I mean, it don't even have to be a super big company, but, bigger companies, you have bigger waste. I remember working a long time ago at Little Caesars. Was it Little Caesars? Yeah, Little Caesars I worked at. And at the end of the night, the amount of pizzas we would throw away, not just at the end of the night, throughout the whole day, the amount of pizzas we would throw away. Fresh pizzas, right? Now, we would all go home like regular people, all of us, me, you, him, and her. We'll order pizza. Let's say we order pizza tonight. We don't eat the whole pizza tonight. Tomorrow we'll go warm up and eat some more of that pizza, right? That's overnight. Now in the store, if a pizza sat in the little box for longer than 15 minutes, we had to throw that pizza away. Nothing was wrong with it. Just had to throw it away, right? And at the end of the night, anything that was made left, we had to throw that bad boy away. And so, hey, Jake, you know how Jake would be at the end of 15 minutes before closing. He's throwing all kind of pizzas in the goddamn oven just so that, hey, man, we close, we ain't selling, we're going to go ahead and quote unquote throw them out and then just take them bitches home. Right? But just think about that, man. All those different pizzas, and then you couldn't give them away, all right, because they don't want to get sued if somebody gets sick. And plus, they get insurance refunds for all that stuff. So they in business with throwing away food, man. People don't realize that. Same way, like I said, with other big businesses and stuff like that. They get paid for throwing away certain of their, oh, that's a loss. We got to get rid of this and so on and so forth, man. All right. But going back into this transgressing the laws, again, there's there's a certain amount, just like with farming and stuff like that. There's you farm for a certain amount of years, and you let the land rest, right? The same way with the rest of the fruits and the animals and everything else like that. Hey, man, don't overdo it, man. Let them, hey, how like in hunting, they have a certain hunting seasons. Hey, well, this is the time for them to reproduce. Let them reproduce and get this time off, and then you can go and hunt them. Because if y'all just start hunting them, there ain't going to be nothing to reproduce left, right? But look at where we at now, to where, we got to sit here and start. Now, the Most High created everything to be good, to multiply upon itself, to keep the whole earth keep going. You would never run out of resources, right? Because it's just a process. You think about an apple on a tree. There's going to be at least one apple that don't get picked that's going to fall to the earth. Even if it do get picked or whoever consume it, them seeds is going to hit the earth and start replanting and doing itself all over again, right? Animals are going to just naturally go and reproduce, and you're going to keep getting more and more of this here shit. Since the Most High created cows in the very beginning, right? Now, you got to understand what I'm saying here. Since the Most High created cows from the beginning, there ain't been no new cows created. You have that same cycle of cows reproducing, right? The same with all the fruits and the vegetables and everything else like that. There was no other point in time in history where some new shit was created. Put it that way. Now, you have Esau doing his little, GMO type shit. That we're not talking about that. But you don't have no new fruits and vegetables that just popped up out of nowhere at a certain point in time. No, they was all created at the beginning. So from the beginning, since the earth was began, when all this was created, tomatoes have been here all the way up until this here time, right? Cows have been here all the way up until this here time. Like I said, you don't got no new cow. Like 5,000, not 5,000. Let's say 500 years ago, cows wasn't just all of a sudden created, and now we just got cows on the earth. Cows have been here since the beginning, all the way up until now. But now all of a sudden we got an issue with things. You know what I'm saying? Like out of all the people that's been on the earth, now we got a shortage of all these things. But this is what Esau does, man. Changes the ordinance of these things. This is why the Lord has to set up one that is profitable over it. It's like, look, man, hey, we got just even in good business, you don't even like all your profits. Hey, well, all right. So let me put it to you in Jake terms. Jake don't be honest. Jake only know how to talk about dope money and stuff like that. Jake can't go fuck up the re-up money. You can't go spend all the money. You got your profit money and your re-up money. No business is going to be profitable if you take all the money that you made back and you just go and blow all that at your paycheck. You got to have a certain amount of money set aside to go and reinvest back into the business again, right? So that you can keep going and keep doing business. You got to pay your overhead, pay for your inventory and everything else like that to make sure you can keep going. Then whatever's left over, you take your money and you go do whatever you want to go and do. This is being unprofitable where it's like, look, I didn't made my money for the whole month and I'm not going to put nothing back into the business, no supplies, no none of this stuff. So, but I got my money. But then how you going to go back into work, the next go round? You don't have no supplies. You ain't got no gas. You ain't got none of this. You ain't got none of that. Like, yo, there's a proper discipline that you have to take into account, man. All right. When businesses do, things like that, first and foremost, they got to make sure they can re-up on their inventory to keep, going in. Again, going back into Jake terms where Jake can understand it. Like, you didn't sold your little drugs and everything else like that. You don't take all that money. Dope boys be thinking, this low-level dope boys say, oh, I got all this guap. All right, out of all that money, how much of that money is actually your profit money, or how much of that is re-up money? Don't go fuck up the re-up money. Now you just out the game. You kicked yourself out the game. Right? But this is the same thing that Esau be having going on. Hey, let us just overfish everything and not leave no fish to reproduce. Let us just go over here and kill off all these here animals and leave none to reproduce. Let us keep farming so there's no more nutrients in the ground. All right. So now we got to sit there and create vitamins and supplements and things like that because there's no more inside the foods, man. And things getting all smaller and weaker and everything else like that. This is why the Lord has to set up one that is profitable over the earth, because a wise king will instruct his people, like the scriptures say, man. Hey, look, we got to have some discipline. We can only do this in this point in time and this and that point in time. Hey, if y'all overdo it, we ain't going to have shit left, right? You're going to have a good time for a little bit of time, but then you shit out of luck. You got out the game. Right? You got to have some kind of discipline with you, man. You can't just go get all excited. Oh, I done sold my little pack and here go all the little money. All right, look, bro, out of all that little money, this here money is yours and the rest of that is the re-up money. I'm going to go spend all the money. All right, you go spend all the money, but then now you ain't got no more job. You shit out of luck. Oh, man, how am I going to get back and be doing? Bro, you can't. You flip yourself out the game. But this is what Esau does. You're unprofitable, like it's using that term now. You're an unprofitable dealer. Right? But I done gave you this and you done fucked up the re-up money. Now I can't even trust you no more, man. You can't keep this business running, man. All right. Any business, you forgot to re-up on the inventory and everything. Like, bro, how the fuck we supposed to be selling subs and you done blew all the profit money at the casino last week? We can't even buy no more lunch meat to make the damn sub sandwiches. So now we just out of luck now, bro. What are we doing here? But this is why the Lord has to take Esau up out of rulership, because what had he done? He's hoarded everything to himself, depleted everything up off the face of the earth. Everything, look, even all the oil, taking all the oil out of the earth, all these earthquakes is going on and everything else, like just hoarding everything to himself and can't even use none of this stuff, man. It's like a real hoarder. Like, yo, you didn't stocked up on some stuff. Like, yeah, it's cool to have you some extra supply of certain things, but now you got so much shit inside the goddamn house that, is it really profitable to have all this shit inside the house? Now all of a sudden you got biohazards that's going in here, man. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to save, let's say you're trying to save up all this your canned goods and everything else like that. But then now all of a sudden, it's attracting whatever type of rodents or whatever, or maybe all the weight that fell through the floor or some shit like that. Who knows? But it's like, but at this point, it's not profitable for you to be hoarding up all this shit. It'd be better for you to get rid of half of this shit, man. All right. But hey, like I said, or let me just go buy groceries for a whole year right now. Like, bro, you go buy groceries for a whole year. First of all, where are you going to put all the shit? You know what I'm saying? You got shit that's supposed to be refrigerated or kept frozen. You bought all this ice cream. You got a year's supply of ice cream, but where are you going to put it at? Now it's all melting and going to waste. That's unprofitable. But see, this is what, Esau's mindset is up to, man. All right. It's another precept that came to my mind. I was going to grab, Lord's will, it'll come back to me. I quoted this. Let me read this real quick and Lord's will come back. Matthew 24 and verse 22 actually is the point. Matthew 24, well, we can read 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And you can watch any of these here movies that speak about stuff like this, where, you have AI that takes over and they won't let you go do this, won't let you go do that. Or what's that? Will Smith and all them, or what's that other boy named Matt Damon and all of them. They got these different movies that showcase all these things, and things just go left, real left field. You can't control it, man. But like I said, those are the bigger nefarious things that we think about. But like I said, what happens if you just start seeing, like we see deep fakes? You talk about that Joe Rogan. I think Joe Rogan did this one time where he pulled up a AI generated Joe Rogan podcast of him. He was like, damn, that's scary, because I would have believed that was me. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't him. They did some kind of little AI thing, a deep fake type thing. When you fool yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I could have thought that was me. So how much more when you start fooling everything else, man? All right, they had the one person who got the kidnapped kid phone call and everything else like that, man. Having people panicking about all these different things, right? You know, just think about it on the smaller levels. Oh, I got a video of my wife cheating, my husband cheating, or something like that. You thinking these things is real and everything else, but how much more when it comes down to the men of the Lord, man? Oh, we got it on. I've always told my family, but look, there's gonna probably be a point in time where y'all gonna hear some shit from the government about this, and that. But y'all got to think about, y'all know me, bruh. Y'all know I'm not on this type of shit or that type of shit or whatever they come up with, because they'll have you believing all this shit stuff, man. They have you like, look at the people that's on the news and the TV and everything else like that, like R. Kelly, for instance, right? R. Kelly is not really in jail for no sexual, nothing really to do with no sexual type of stuff. They ain't had no evidence on that. He in jail for racketeering and stuff like that, like money, shit to do with money. You know what I'm saying? But what's the perception of why he locked up? You see what I'm saying? So once they can put these things out on you, you know what it's like if you get labeled certain things. People don't want to hear the truth. They just want to go with what the shit is. So when we come into these here times, man, let me read the next one. Verse 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. Putting two and two together, man. The fake technology, the deep fakes and this technology that they're coming out with and everything else like that, you're not going to be able to, everything's going to be watching you at that point in time, man. Look around your house now. Look at how many different of these devices around your house have cameras on there, microphones on there from your video games. They got the little microphones on there so you can chat with your friends, but they also got the voice command to turn your systems on and off. For that shit to be able to work, to be like, what they say, like Xbox on and everything, that Xbox got to be sitting there listening to your ass the whole goddamn time to decipher when you saying Xbox and not Xbox, right? You know what I'm saying? And they got the other little devices and stuff like that. Same thing, man. All right, so, hey, just wait till all these things start, your smartwatch, your smartphone and everything telling you about your sleep and your steps and everything else like that. Hey, wait till these things start, pointing you in the wrong directions to do the wrong things, and I trusted this. I just told me to go do that and go do this, and then it wound up killing you off because they fed you bad information, but you the one went and listened to it, man. All right. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. And you get into, like I said, a couple years ago, everybody was eating Impossible this, Impossible that, fake chicken, all of this stuff. And they was blatantly telling you what it is. Now they got 3D printed fish, all right, beef and everything else like that, man. Man, you like, what the hell are you even eating at this point, man? All right, but hey, can I go and take the cushion out of a sofa or a pillow or some shit, like what they call that, foam or whatever that's in there, and cut it in the shape of a fish or a shape of a steak, and just because it's shaped like it, and I eat, put a little flavoring on there and it tastes like the same. Nigga, it ain't the same shit. Then why the fuck we gotta eat this when whatever the Most High created, it was good when He created? Why y'all gotta go over here? But that's why the scriptures say. We'll close out on that. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4, I believe it is. Yep. Let me start at 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And so, hey, what is Esau right now doing? Trying to recreate everything that the Most High created, that the Most High said was good. But Esau now is trying to perfect everything, man. All right. But I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, the great millstone that taught us this truth and I rule well. And citation, much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and endure afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.